Buenas tardes y buen bonitos de todos. Good afternoon and welcome everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shearer, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and the password. Today is Sunday, September 11th, 2022. We are continuing our annual theme, which is Living Everyday Wonder. And the topic for this month of September is work. The topic for this week is Creating a Life That Matters. Each week, we open with a spiritual practice called affirmative prayer, also known as spiritual mind treatment. And this is a powerful tool and a practical tool that shifts our consciousness so that we are open and available to accept the good that is already present in our life. It aligns our thoughts with all good. So let's move into today's service with intention, as we do each week, with a reading from the Creative Thought magazine. And today I'll be reading from September 13th, 2014. Spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So I invite you to close your eyes and take these words as your own, if you so choose. Spirit is perfect life and pure energy of being. I know that life energy fills all space and time, and that it is always vital as me and always moving me in the playful grace through every event and experience of my life. My life truly lives me in perfect ways, expressing me as ageless, vital, and free-spirited joy. I relish my joy of life and savor each moment with mindful pleasure. Knowing I am as much life as I accept, I reach out, all of my reaching, senses alert and feelings high, to embrace as much as I can. I imagine life richly. I move surely and with ease, humor, and warm affection for everyone. I see spirit and life in everyone. I am boundlessly happy with who and what I am, with my world, and with my interesting and wonder-filled life. My joyous life reveals more of Spirit's promise. My attention to Spirit reveals more of life's promise. I accept my promise as fulfilled now. With overflowing gratitude for my new and vibrant consciousness, I release my word and accept even more life now. And so it is. And that was originally submitted by Reverend John Lusk from Westlake Village, California. And so now, as we do each week, let's together review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire. And this is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. So once again, welcome everyone. Please know that no matter which path you are on, you are valuable and valued here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. So welcome. We teach a philosophy called the Science of Mind, and we honor all faiths, all paths, all traditions. So the Science of Mind teaching is a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom, and we offer spiritual tools and principles to promote personal growth. One experience or one example of this is our opening spiritual mind treatment. And As I mentioned, we honor diversity in all aspects so that we can see and appreciate the great oneness that already exists everywhere and within everyone. When Dr. Ernest Holmes founded this teaching in the 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create the science of mind, which focuses on the individual use of thoughts and this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the science of mind teaching, he replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So if you have any questions or comments, you can either post them online wherever you are watching the replay, chat with me in person, or send me a direct email and I'll be sure to respond. So our talk today is about our work. And our work is an extension of our passion for the world. The professional lexicon contains success, failure, productivity, measures, improvements, competition, and efficiency. When looking within the container of an office or a company or factory, or even the boardroom or break room, these words make up the operational fabric of the workplace. We are spiritual beings living out a spiritual experience in this world. The work we do also contains less obvious spiritual elements of meaning and meaningfulness, good and goodness. It's about more than a result or an outcome. This month is an invitation to embark upon adventure in the spiritual practice of finding the good in the work that we do through the revelation of everyday wonder within every task, every project, every design, conversation, and product. And by taking every opportunity to do all the good that we can. This week, our focus is upon a truism that Parker Palmer pointed us to when he said this: before you tell your life what you intend to do with it, listen for what it intends to do with you. Before you tell your life what truths and values you have decided to live up to, let your life tell you what truths you embody, what values you represent. Each day is an opportunity to embark upon a personal journey to make meaning in the professional arena of life. Wonder is all that is needed to discover what is within in such a way that life invites us to pour ourselves out into the world over and over again. In the Science of Mind textbook, Ernest Holmes wrote this: we must cleave to the good and trust absolutely in the law of God to bring about any desired end. Spirit will mold our purposes when we allow it to do so. As we learn to depend more and more upon the perfect law, we shall find that the outward things which are necessary to our good will be provided. So one of the common places where wonder lives in the place that humanity notices least, the work of our hands, heads, and hearts. To experience everyday wonder in the haste, production, and labor of work is to realize wonder can be a component of so-called everyday tasks. The idea of everyday wonder calls us in the direction of wonderful things, to live as though everything and everyone is a miracle happening now, even in the work, even in your career, your professional lives. There is room for the gifts that wonder brings to ordinary life. St. Augustine was right when he wrote, People travel to wonder at the height of mountains, at the huge waves of the sea, at the long courses of rivers and the vast compass of the ocean, at the circular motion of the stars, and they pass by themselves without wondering at all. So let us not pass by any of this in our life. Let us invite wonder to join us in doing what we know as work. And let's allow that work to be known as good work. The goal is not simply to wax nostalgic or poetic, but to recommit our work to the ebbs and flows of wonder. Knowing the power of wonder, we stop taking the amazing, precious, and wondrous pieces of our lives for granted. It's time to settle ourselves at the feet of the blessings of the work done in the world for what it is, an unfolding miracle. So don't waste another moment or another day. Don't throw away your miracle. May this journey of everyday wonder leave us all equally committed to both the work and the achievements within us. May we always know the work of the divine has begun in us as good, blessed, and beloved. Ernest Holmes wrote this: there is an inner meaning to everything, an inside to every fact, a hidden cause within every visible effect. This cause is spirit. The Quakers say, let your life speak. When we allow our lives to begin to speak to us, we would be wise to listen. Our life says, the very best parts of your being have somehow been set aside or gone unnoticed. These are essential elements that must be lived aloud in this now moment and invited into being as you. The word vocation comes from the Latin vocare, or voice. Vocation is therefore about listening to the voice of spirit that lies within and allowing it expression in, through, and as us. Letting your life speak is about making room in your soul for the signs and messages in and around you to lift you up. When your life speaks to you, it invites the truth to be known first in you, by you, then as you, as the soul listens for the love, strength, determination, and hope that bid it come. When I was young, I wanted to be a veterinarian, but I didn't listen to my inner voice. I didn't take the required courses to fit the entrance requirements and went from job to job in different careers instead. Finally, as an adult, I listened to the calling, that inner voice, to become a minister. Vocation is not a title, a role, a job, or an occupation. It is the quiet yes whispered to the soul. Your life never stops speaking to you. Listen for the sounds of the creation of a life that matters now more than ever. Ernest Holmes wrote this: the starting point of all creation is the word of spirit. The word is the concept, idea, image, or thought of God. It is a self-knowing mind speaking itself into manifestation. The word back of everything is its initial cause. So wonder has become the ability to reinforce feelings when we are mindful of surprises, awe-inspiring sights and situations, and other daily wonders of our lives. Starting a Moments of Wonder journal in the same notebook where you keep your work notes, tasks, and goals would allow the mystery of work and wonder to enfold and unfold within you daily. Every evening, think back over the day, paying special attention to the experiences that engaged all of the senses, your scent, touch, sound, sights, and curate a list of the wonders and questions that stirred up the flame of ah, that wonder. Ernest Holmes said this in the Beverly Hills lecture. The sequence of the creative cause with us starts with absolute intelligence, then the word, then the law, and then the thing. That's the sequence of the creative order. So our vacation, or rather our vocation, is an inward declaration of life and how we individually and collectively belong to this world. When we finally decide to free ourselves from the image of the impossible, our next step in breath are into a space and time where we get to declare, I'm possible. Today is the day we allow our lives to speak for us, pouring the marvelous light that is emerging as us out into the world. There is no more separation or living a life divided between one thing and another. When our lives speak for us, they speak words of purpose, intention, and wholeness, bringing us into the allness of who we have been called to be in this world. Speak for me the truth that called me into being. Speak for me my name. Speak for me that which makes me extraordinary. Speak for me that others may hear the call of their lives, beckoning them beyond limitations, weaknesses, and mistakes. Speak for me the fullness of character, the passion, the joy and grace that paves a new way. May the wonder that drew us into this moment become light for our paths and bread for our journeys, and may it continue to speak to us, through us, and for us. It is a mighty work, woven of purpose and unbridled joy that supports us ever and always. Speak for me a life that matters. In Living the Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote this: the word is not something that speaks itself. There is an intelligence that speaks the word. Therefore, the initial movement of the creative sequence is absolute intelligence. The call of vocation is to speak new life and to embody the wholeness of life itself. Vocation is the thing you must do once you recognize it. Once the noise of the world fades to the background, the voice of your life can be made known, revered, and stands center stage in a spotlight of love. Living a life as a vocation is not something that occurs in the recesses of the mind, for it is a new life emerging from within you. Annie Dillard asserts that how we spend our days is, of course, how we spend our lives. Life is made of a million little things that remind us that the job is not all that there is. There is so much more available to us through the integration of work, career, profession, dream, and vocation. The integration of work life, and the life grounded in vocation align closely with the Buddhist concept of right livelihood, which encourages engagement in compassionate activity and work to make a living in a supportive and constructive way. The poet Mary Oliver gives us or calls us to bring attention to our lives. Be determined to do the only thing you can do. Determined to save the only life you can save. To speak new life, you must be willing to engage wonder as a lens to determine how work can become a meaningful, supportive spiritual practice. Creating a life that matters is the integration of work and vocation. It involves growth, maturation, deepening, and becoming your truest self. This new life is you, the allness of you, and the quiet wholeness, making its way in the world of meaningful work. Becoming you is a vocation, profession, and life worth pursuing. Vincent van Gogh said this: your profession is not what brings home your paycheck. Your profession is what you were put on earth to do, with such passion and such intensity that it becomes spiritual in calling. So, in conclusion, with the heart of humanity, within the heart of humanity is a voice that is always speaking at that intersection of work and vocation. This voice speaks first to us to remind us of who we are. Next, the voice speaks for us into the world of life, work, and vocation to tell the world that we are here. And finally, the generative power begins to speak life anew. As our true vocation begins to emerge, it weaves together the idea of self and the work of service. To the world. As Frederick Bauschner asserts when he defines vocation as the place where your deep gladness meets the world's deep need. Bauschner's definition starts with the inward idea of self and moves outward toward the world's need. It wisely begins not with what the world needs, which is everything, but with the nature of the human self and the joy and meaning that reside within. This is the beloved work of everyday wonder that points us toward our soul's journey, our profession, and charge that pours out of us into the world, embodied as a life that matters. And I'll leave you with these words from American Trappist monk Thomas Merton. Discovering vocation does not mean scrambling toward some prize just beyond my reach, but accepting the treasure of true self I already possess. And that brings us to our affirmation for the week. The work of my soul is creating a life that matters. And so now it's our time for mindful giving, to give where we receive. So donations are gratefully received through our PayPal on our website, www.cslpv.org. When you arrive on the landing page, you'll see a donate button. And when you click on it, it will take you directly to your PayPal, where you can make your donation in whichever manner you choose. If you still like to send paper checks, you can do so by writing it to CSLPV number 403 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y 8N1. And now, if you'd like to join me in our offertory affirmations. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for a spiritual mind treatment to assist you with your emotions or change or whatever you are experiencing in life or would like to experience, please connect with me. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta for this current year, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, we will be having our annual meeting coming up in October. So please contact us so that you can be sent the current forms. And I'd also like to remind you to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel and Facebook page. And if you're interested in learning more about the Science Mind teaching, we will be offering another course of the Change Your Thinking, Change Your Life class that was held online and will be once again. This course will be offered in early October. So connect with me or check our website to find out the details. And let me know if there's any other course or workshop or book study that you would be interested in taking so that we can plan ahead for these as well. And let's continue with practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions can create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. May peace and blessing and love be with you.